There are rare dogs, and then there's the Otterhound, a breed so scarce it's considered more endangered than the giant panda. But don't let that big goofy grin fool you. Behind the beard and webbed toes is a dog bred for long days in the water, hours of tracking scent, and a whole lot of personality. So before you fall head over paws for this scruffy legend, here are 7 things to consider before getting an Otterhound. And hey, before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell to keep this channel rolling. Let's jump in. A legendary water hunter with royal roots. The Otterhound is one of the most uniquely specialized and historically rich dog breeds in the world. Their story begins in medieval England, where otters were far more than just cute river dwellers. These semi-aquatic predators were considered a major threat to one of the most precious resources of the time: fish. In an era when fish were essential for both diet and religious fasting days, especially in Catholic regions, otter populations were seen as pests, draining ponds and damaging the delicate balance of river ecosystems. Behold, the Otterhound, bred by aristocrats and monks alike to track and flush out otters from watercourses, swamps, and marshes. But otter hunting was no walk in the park. Otters are agile swimmers, elusive, and incredibly smart. To keep up, the dogs needed an extremely powerful nose, the stamina of an ultramarathoner, and the ability to swim for hours in freezing, rushing water. Breeders carefully crossed bloodhounds for scent, griffon hounds and St. Hubert hounds for coat and stamina, and other European scent hounds to produce what would become the ultimate aquatic tracker, the Otterhound. By the 13th century, otter hunting had become an organized sport in Britain, especially among the upper class. So prestigious was the hunt that King Edward II appointed a Master of Otterhounds to manage his royal pack. For centuries, these dogs followed hunts along riverbanks, and records show they were prized not just for their function, but for the distinctive deep voice, rough coat, and loyal temperament. In their prime, Otterhounds were symbols of wealth and status. Each noble estate with a fish pond likely had a few Otterhounds on hand. But by the 19th century, the breed began to change. As the Industrial Revolution transformed rural England and fish farming declined, otter hunting became more recreational than practical. Still, packs continued to operate, and the Otterhound Club was formed in 1907 to protect the breed standard. The real turning point came in the 1970s, when otters became a protected species under UK law due to population decline caused by pollution. Overnight, the Otterhound lost its original job. Many packs were disbanded with no working purpose, and the breed rapidly dwindled in number. Today, the Otterhound is one of the rarest dog breeds on the planet. As of recent estimates, fewer than 600 exist worldwide, with just a handful of dedicated breeders working to preserve their line. They're officially classified as a vulnerable native breed by the Kennel Club in UK. And in the US, the Otterhound is part of the AKC Hound group, but you'll be lucky to ever see one in person. Yet for those lucky enough to meet an Otterhound, their historical roots are still written into their DNA. From the webbed feet to the oily double coat to the unwavering focus on a scent trail and that booming hound singing voice that once echoed off riverbanks centuries ago. The Otterhound isn't just a rare breed, it's a living artifact, one of the few dogs whose ancestral job has gone extinct, but whose spirit still lives on in every wet-nosed, shaggy-coated, joyful stride. Number 1. Breed size: big, bouncy, and built for splashing. The Otterhound is a large breed, typically weighing 80 to 115 pounds and standing about 24 to 27 inches tall at the shoulder. But it's not just about height, it's the heft. These dogs are solid, muscular, and have a unique rectangular body shape that's longer than it is tall, perfect for swimming and endurance work. Their large webbed feet help them paddle efficiently, and their deep chests give them lung power for hours of tracking. If you're picturing a lumbering giant, think again. This dog has surprising agility and bounce for its size. Just make sure that you have the room to map. Number 2. Energy levels. Not hyper, but endlessly curious. Despite their working heritage, Otterhounds aren't high-strung like Border Collies or intense herders, but that doesn't mean they're lazy either. They have moderate to high energy levels with a love for long walks, hikes, swimming, and especially sniffing everything in their path. Their scent-driven brains mean mental stimulation is just as important as physical exercise. Expect at least an hour or more of daily activity, and don't be surprised if your Otterhound invents their own games. Or disappears, nose first, into a shrub for 15 minutes. Number 3. Temperament. Clownish, loyal, and a bit independent. Otterhounds are full of quirky charm. They're known to be affectionate with their families, surprisingly gentle with children, and full of that classic hound humor. Expect singing, stubbornness, and an ability to make you laugh when they should be in trouble. But they're also independent thinkers. Unlike a golden retriever, they don't live to please you. This doesn't mean they don't love you, it just means they were bred to think on their own, and it shows. Early socialization is a must. With the right upbringing, Otterhounds are sociable, easygoing, and great with other dogs. But they may chase smaller animals if not raised alongside them. Number 4. Grooming requirements. That coat needs love. That beautiful, shaggy coat? It's more function than fashion. Otterhounds have a double coat, a harsh, waterproof outer layer and a soft, insulating undercoat, perfect for cold rivers, not so much your white couch. To keep them looking and smelling good, you'll need to brush them 2 to 3 times a week to prevent matting, trim around their feet and ears if needed, and check those ears often. Those long floppy ears can trap moisture and lead to infections. And bathe them monthly or as needed, especially after muddy adventures. The good news? They're not heavy shedders, just occasional fluff, not tumbleweeds. Number 5. Trainability. Smart, but hound-headed. Otterhounds are intelligent, but not always obedient. Think of them like a gifted student who only does homework if it's their idea. They respond best to positive reinforcement, short, fun sessions, scent games, and tracking work. They're not eager to please in the traditional sense, but with consistency and patience, they can learn just about anything. The challenge is convincing them that they want to. Don't expect instant recall, especially if their nose catches something more interesting. Number 6. Health issues. A rare breed with a few concerns. Because the Otterhound gene pool is so small, breeders work hard to avoid inherited issues, but there are still some to watch for. Hip and elbow dysplasia, epilepsy, bloat or gastric tension, which is a serious emergency risk in deep-chested dogs. This can happen after meals or when too much water is consumed too quickly, and ear infections due to their long, moisture-prone ears. Reputable breeders screen for genetic conditions, and with good care, Otterhounds often live 10 to 13 years. Their rarity means access to experienced vets and breeders is key here. Number 7. Ideal lifestyle compatibility. Are you an Otterhound person? So, who exactly is the right match for this rare, water-loving aristocrat of the dog world? First, let's be clear. The Otterhound is not a city dog. This isn't a pup that thrives in small apartments or with a quick daily stroll around the block. These dogs are bred to cover miles along rivers and wetlands, and that genetic momentum is still in full swing. They need space to roam, ideally in a rural or suburban home with a large, secure yard. Bonus points if you live near water. Otterhounds live for a good splash and will leap into lakes, streams, and even puddles like it's their calling from the heavens. While Otterhounds may look lumbering and relaxed at first glance, they're deceptively athletic. They have a slow burn energy, meaning they don't bounce off the walls like a border collie, but they can hike, swim, or trail scent for hours once they're in motion. If you're an active person who enjoys hiking, trail walking, or any sort of outdoor adventuring, the Otterhound could be your ideal co-pilot. However, this breed is also known for its independent streak, not to be mistaken for stubbornness, but rather a centuries-old trait of working alone or out of sight during long river hunts. This means they may not respond instantly to every command, and training requires patience, consistency, and a sense of humor. If you want a dog that hangs on your every word, the Otterhound might drive you a little nuts. But if you appreciate a dog with a mind of its own and a big, goofy heart, you're in for a lifelong bond. And finally, Otterhounds need humans who don't mind a little mess. These dogs drool, they track in mud, their beards get wet and slimy after every water break. If you're fastidious about clean floors or crisp white couches, you'll be in a constant state of anxiety. But If you love big, shaggy dogs who smell a little like earth and joy, you're their kind of person. If that sounds like you, you just might be one of the rare few worthy of welcoming an Otterhound into your home and your heart. So, do you have what it takes to raise a dog that once worked for royalty and swam after otters for a living? The Otterhound may be rare, but their heart is enormous, their personality unforgettable, and their legacy absolutely worth preserving. If you enjoyed this dive into the wonderful world of rare breeds, make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments, have you ever seen an Otterhound in person? Or do you already live with one? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.